Alright guys, what is up? Welcome back to today's video, and today I'm going to be doing a back-by commentary over basically a bunch of my gym bros lifts because I was injured, I couldn't do it, so I filmed them, and I'm going to do a back-by commentary over it. So yeah, let's get it. So you guys can see here starting off, Dennis is doing pull-ups. Now, before I was injured, I'm going to be talking about how I used to do everything and how we like to do it. So always, we do a vertical pulling motion first. And so, for us, either that's going to be pull-ups or lat pull-downs. Now, I've experimented with weighted pull-ups, and I feel like they're just not worth it. If I'm doing pull-ups, they're going to be all the way up, chest touching the bar. And I'm going to go 15-20 rep range, really focusing on the contraction. So we got JP here. He's huge, only 16 years old. He was going heavy on here, just trying to test out how much he could do. This is a 187, pretty much strict form. So yeah, for your first exercise, guys, I would choose some sort of vertical pull. So either whether that's going to be the lat pull down or a pull up. And if you want, you could try weighted pull ups. And yeah, so the next exercise is going to be the chest supported row. I put a picture up here because that's normally what I do, is a chest supported row just like that, because it just saves your lower back a little bit. And so if you deadlift and squat, that's what I would do. But today they decided to do this row, and so yeah, as you guys can guess, next exercise is going to be rows. Here's my brother doing it. He was going a little bit heavy. He even said after he was using a little bit more momentum than he'd like. But regardless, you need a rowing motion. And really, guys, that's the problem I made my first year of back training, was I was focusing a lot lat pull downs, pull ups, all these things, but I wasn't focusing on a row. So really hammer the rows. Because that's going to be where most of your mass is built. Yeah, look, JP here doing the rows. He's literally huge. This is a 187. He's got it gripped on his fingers. And so it's all about, when you're training back, guys, it's all about feeling the stretch and then contracting. That's what it's all about. So you can see here, right there where he pauses, he's stretching out his back. And yeah, you see like right there, he's pausing, really stretching the back muscles. And then at the top, he's going to contract it. Really, guys, training to failure. I mean, that's how you get the gains. So you guys will see here, Dennis been really light. Now, there's Javi jumping in. So I don't know why Dennis goes so light. Yeah, I think there I don't know if he dropped it or raised it. He definitely should have raised it. But in my opinion, if you're doing anything over 15 reps to get to failure, you're going too light. Unless you're trying to just do pump work for fun and just to look good temporarily with a pump, there's literally no reason to go this light. And so I think that's something Dennis is gonna like slowly start training a little bit heavier now, because just going this light, I don't think it's a good way to make gains unless you're significantly adding weight over time. And so yeah, so basically same thing here. He's being a little more explosive, using a little bit like more momentum as well, but pausing at the bottom. So that's the whole thing. Chest supported row, stretching over, contracting at the back. That's all. Now, first we did lat pull downs or pull-ups, a vertical row pull. Now we have then we did the horizontal pull, the row, and now we got like a crossing over kind of pull, like diagonal, and just a pull over. And so I like doing it with a close grip, and I feel it really well. Again, all about the stretch. Stretching, contracting. It's key to this. So, you guys will see Dennis here. Again, in my opinion, he went too light, but that's how he likes to train. Everyone likes to train differently. That's why it's important to experiment with the things so you can see what works best for you. But all about the stretch at the top, contraction at the bottom. Really about, this is one of the exercises where I would say, okay, maybe if you want to get a little bit more in the 15-20 rep range, I could see why. But rows, I see no reason to go above 12 reps, to be honest. So, yeah, basically that's Dennis there. Looking shredded, absolutely shredded. Trying to get him to bulk a little bit. But, yeah, me in the background, I live in Florida, so Hurricane Ian, I was getting, like, notices from my school and stuff saying we weren't going to have school, so I was hyped. But, yeah, next thing is going to be shrugs. Just going to work the traps up here and just the rest of the upper back. And so, normally, I would do it on that kind of power machine that I showed an image of. But here we're just doing it, JP in the back, here we're just doing it with, he's doing it with the kettlebells. And it's really good. You can see he's really working his upper back, working the traps. Either way, and I'm a big believer of stretching the muscle to build it. So, really stretching at the bottom. Next thing, cable curls. That's how I like to normally set up my cable curls. Cable curls behind, stretching the biceps again, and contracting. It's all about the stretch. I'm a really, really, really big believer in doing a stretch. I actually did an experiment where literally all I did for shrugs loaded on as many plates as I could and just stood there stretching, and I noticed significant trap growth, and everyone was telling me that too, so it was crazy. Yeah, so regardless, next thing is going to be biceps, working the long head and the stretch position. We got incline curls. So for this, you can either choose incline curls or a cable curl behind like this. I prefer cables. I'm more of a cable guy when it comes to accessories. I always feel they just feel better overall, but either way, if you're going to do incline curls, make sure whatever you're doing, you're fully extending your arm at the bottom. Really getting the full range of motion. Full range of motion on this exercise is key because we're working the long head. So, same here with my brother. I don't know why Dennis was filming his left arm, because his right arm was actually low-key looking pretty big. He's been back in the gym for like, I think, what is it, like maybe 2 months. So yeah, he's made great progress coming back from what he was doing before. So yeah, really all about the stretch, fully stretching. One of my friends, my old buddy Gustavo, would even say flex your tricep, because that ensures that you're fully locking out. So flex your tricep and fully go up. Yeah, so that's incline curls, and honestly, I prioritize the stretch over all the things. So that's why I do the incline curls before the concentration curls. So the next thing is concentration curls. I don't discard this rope that Dennis has. I'm not sure exactly what his point of this was. He saw like some optimal exercise, I'm pretty sure, and wanted to test it out. But regardless, concentration curls are an interesting thing, because this is a little bro science. But right here, you see what my brother's doing where it's like partials. I really believe in partials for concentration curls. Reason being, we're working the concentration. We just work the full range of motion. Right here, we're just trying to work the short head, the peak. Then he's repping out some hammer curls. Just thought he looked aesthetic, so put it in. But yeah, we're working the peak, so that's why I like to do that little half rep, kind of like that. I really think that could be beneficial. Yeah. So I go really heavy. I don't go all the way down. And yeah. So I also put some posing in. We see Dennis. Dennis is about 5'8", 140 pounds. And like, something to keep in mind here is the lighting he's posing in is terrible. Like, when I mean terrible, this is literally the worst lighting you can get. Like, it's the bathroom in our gym, and today was like the most packed day because Hurricane Ian was coming. All the Y's closed, so all these kids were in here. So he didn't want to pose out in front, so he posed in the bathroom. But you can see, like, clearly he's shredded. I mean, he's made good progress in like I think the 10 months he's been lifting, but I really think he should go on a bulk. Now he has the range where he can put on body fat and still look great. So yeah, looking absolutely shredded. Bro's looking good. So yeah, guys, so basically a little wrap up for this routine is gonna be this. You start off with your row, a vertical row of some sort, a vertical pull down of some sort. Sorry, vertical pull down. So lat pull downs, pullovers. See more background comes on. Lat pull downs or pull ups, either one. And I would really advise you guys, whatever you're doing for the lat pull downs and pullovers, focus on the contraction a little bit more, contracting that upper back. So I like to do. I've done both. I would say you experiment with both. Experiment with weighted pull ups as well. See what you think is working the best for you. In my experience, I really liked having the high rep pull-ups. I just feel that I could stretch all the way at the bottom. That's really good, stretching at the bottom, and then pulling up all the way to the top. High reps. Franco Columba, an old school bodybuilder, would say, there's no need to add reps to the weight to the pull-ups. And I'm kind of a believer of that. Until you can hit 30 reps with the pull-ups, perfect chest touching the top, I don't see a reason to add weight. So that's my goal. Right now I could probably do about, well, now I can't do any, but before the injury I could probably do about 20. So yeah, really I would focus on that high rep pull-ups. If you can't do pull-ups, work on the lat pull downs or assisted pull-up machines of some sort until you can build up to that. And test out what you want, choose one along those lines. Track your lifts, write down what you're doing so you can progressive overload over time. The next thing is going to be the row, of course, horizontal row. I prefer a chest supported row because I like to deadlift. I like to squat. My lower back is getting taxed and worked already, so there's no reason really to do just a row like they were doing with the cable. We're just gonna work my lower back as well because lower back can't recover that quickly, at least for most people. So chest supported row for me is the move. Really good stretch. Stretch your lats, contract. Pretty simple, straightforward, but really, really effective. And I would really prioritize the row, to be honest, just all around. Then we got the diagonal pullover. This is one of the exercises like you could probably get away without doing it, but I would put it in there just because it's a little bit extra and a little more beneficial. So yeah, focus on stretching again, contracting again. And then we got the shrugs. Now I showed the power machine, and because I'm such a big believer in the weighted stretch, I would actually kind of recommend ego lifting shrugs, where you stretch at the bottom, kind of joint with your knees up a little bit, use a little bit of momentum just so that you can use heavier weight to get a better stretch while it's still getting the contraction because you're using a little bit of momentum. So yeah, I would recommend a power shrug machine, or I guess if you want to do something like Dennis does with the kettlebells, some sort of shrug is just going to work the traps, even work your side delt a bit, and work the upper back. And then we got the curls, the incline curls, or the cable curls behind. Cable curl behinds are my go-tos. But either way, you can choose that. Work the long head. Make sure you're flexing the tricep at the end, or just at least locking all the way back to make sure you're fully stretching that bicep. And then for the concentration curls, really it's up to you guys how you want to do these. I would recommend, I would say just experiment. See what works best for you. But for me, and in my case, and my brother's case, we just like doing kind of half rep, really focusing on the peak contraction because we're able to load more weight. We're weakest at the bottom. So by overloading this contraction part, we're able to work something that we couldn't normally do just with curls with that amount of weight. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I hope you guys learned something from it. I hope you guys can get that Baki Yujiro Hanma demon back. And yeah, as always guys, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep getting those games.